Hi there, math learners! How have you been? I am Ma'am Caitlin A. Vicencio from Disciplina Village Bignay National High School, your virtual teacher this morning. Come and join me for another fun learning experience in Mathematics 8, only here at Valenzuela Live. We are now in Quarter 3, Week 3, wherein we will discuss illustrating triangle congruence. Allow me to present to you our learning competencies for today. At the end of the discussion, you should be able to illustrate triangle congruence. Just a few reminders before we start. Please make sure you have your module in Quarter 3, Module 3 in Mathematics. Also, make sure that you have your pen and paper with you for solving and taking down notes purposes. Today, you will explore the magical world of mathematics as you enter the Hogwarts School of Mathematics Wizardry. Once you've arrived at Hogwarts, it's time to get sorted into a house. You need to complete the task and collect the points to see if you will be in Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Gryffindor, or Ravenclaw. Make sure to finish all the tasks accurately and thoughtfully, as you only get one chance to be sorted. Are you ready? Great, let's begin. Your first task is entitled, Which Fits Me? In this task, you need to complete the jigsaw puzzle by clicking the reactions that corresponds to the jigsaw pieces that fit in the given space in the puzzle. You are only given 5 seconds to key in your answer in the comment section. Each time you get it correctly, you will have the chance to cast the spell Wingardium Leviosa on the bowl to reveal the hidden points. Are we all set? That's great. Let's start. For our first space in the jigsaw puzzle, what will be the jigsaw piece fit for this space? Is it the piece in the like reaction, heart reaction, or wow reaction? You have 5 seconds to click your answer. The timer starts now. If you click heart, you are correct. This jigsaw piece fits perfectly in the space of the puzzle. Let's now cast the spell and reveal your first points. Great! You've got a 1 point. Let us move on to our second space. What piece will it be? Is it light, heart, or wow? 5 seconds, begin. If you hit light, you are correct. This is the right piece for the second space. We can now cast the spell to the second bowl. Nice! You've collected 3 points. For our third space, what will you choose? Is it light, heart, or wow? Key in your answers. Go. Time is up! If you drop like, you are awesome. This is the correct jigsaw piece for the third space. Let's now get your third points. Wow! You've earned 5 points. This is now our last space. Will you choose like, heart, or wow? 5 seconds, go. If you type wow, you are excellent. This piece matches our last space. Let's now reveal your last points. Yay! You've received 2 points. Well, you did great, math learners. You complete the puzzle and earn a lot of points. In the first task, we are able to find the jigsaw pieces that are fit in the spaces in our puzzle. Or we can say congruent to the spaces in the puzzle. But, what do we mean by congruence? Two objects are congruent if they have same shape and size. That is why the symbol to denote congruent is like this. The top part of the symbol, the tilde, is the sign for similarity. It means similar in figure. The bottom part of the symbol, the equal, is the sign for equality. It means equal in measure. Now, I want you to look around and find objects that are congruent to each other. I will be giving you a few seconds to type your answer in our chat box. You may type your answers now. Did you type plates in your house? Spoon in a set of silverware? A duplicate key and its original? Or are coins with the same denomination or amount? If yes, you did a good job. These are some examples of the application of congruence in real life. The idea of congruence is used in mass production of products like plates, spoons, and coins. It can also be used in duplication like the keys. Thus, these are just some of the uses of congruence in real life. Two figures are also congruent if all their parts are made to overlap or coincide. Look at these examples. The first one is the segment AB and segment PQ. As we slide segment PQ, we can see that their endpoints coincide. Therefore, segment AB is congruent to segment PQ. For the second example, we have angle ABC and angle MNO. If we slide angle MNO, the side and vertices of the two angles coincide. That is why angle ABC is congruent to angle MNO. is also the same if two triangles are congruent. But what do we mean by triangle congruence? Two triangles are congruent if they have the same shape and size. If corresponding parts overlap or coincide, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Let's take a look at these triangles. You may rotate, flip, or slide the two triangles until their corresponding parts overlap or coincide. We said that if corresponding parts overlap or coincide, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent. But what is correspondence? Correspondence is pairing the parts of one group to the parts of another group. Additionally, correspondence uses this notation and read as corresponds to. In writing the correspondence statements, we should match the vertices correctly to make the correspondence. Let us consider these two triangles. As we flip triangle DEF, then slide it, we can see that the sides and vertices of triangle ABC and triangle DEF coincide perfectly. Hence, the correspondence can be created between the two triangles. Triangle ABC corresponds to triangle DEF. In this case, the proper pairing will have to be A and D, B and E, and C and F. In this correspondence, there are three pairs of corresponding vertices, angles, and sides. For corresponding vertices, we can say that A corresponds to D, B corresponds to E, and C corresponds to F. For corresponding angles, we have angle A corresponds to angle D, angle B corresponds to angle E, and angle C corresponds to angle F. Also, for the corresponding side, we can conclude that side AB corresponds to side DE, side BC corresponds to side EF, and side AC corresponds to side DF. Since the vertices of triangle ABC fit exactly with the vertices of triangle DEF, therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. In symbols, it is written in this form. Take note that in naming congruent triangles and its congruent angles and sides, the order of the letters representing the vertices of one triangle shall be written in the same order as their corresponding vertices in the other triangle. Therefore, the two triangles are congruent if the vertices can be paired such that the corresponding sides and corresponding angles are congruent. It implies that the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are also congruent, or what we called as CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Conversely, if the corresponding parts of the two triangles are congruent, then the two triangles are congruent. With this, we can say that angle A is congruent to angle D, angle B is congruent to angle E, and angle C is congruent to angle F. Furthermore, we use arcs to show which angles are congruent. The angles with the same number of arcs shows that these angles are congruent. For the congruent side, we can conclude that side AB is congruent to side DE, side BC is congruent to side EF, and side AC is congruent to side DF. For the sides, tick marks are used to show which sides are congruent. The number of tick marks also indicates the congruent sides in the two triangles. Let us now try to answer some examples about triangle congruence. Given triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ, you need to write down the pairs of corresponding angles and corresponding sides of the two triangles. The arcs and tick marks can help you name it. However, we need to be careful in naming the corresponding angles and corresponding sides. The vertices of the two triangles corresponds in the same order as the letter naming the corresponding angles and corresponding sides. So, what are the corresponding angles of the given? Very good. Angle P corresponds to angle X. Angle Q corresponds to angle Y. And angle R corresponds to angle Z. How about the corresponding sides? Can you name it? Nice! Side PQ corresponds to side XY. Side QR corresponds to side YZ. And side PR corresponds to side XZ. For our second example, write the congruence statement for the two triangles. Let's start with the congruent angles. Can you name them? Great! We have angle L is congruent to angle O, angle M is congruent to angle P, and angle L and M is congruent to angle O and P. How about the congruent sides? What are those? Awesome! It is side LM is congruent to side OP, side MN is congruent to side PN, and side LN is congruent to side ON. And lastly, what is the congruent triangles in this example? Very well said. It is triangle LMN is congruent to triangle OPN. After understanding the concept of triangle congruence, I think you are ready for our second task entitled Find My Partner. Using the given figure, complete each congruence statement. You will type the initial letter of the color that corresponds to the correct answer from the choices. R for red, G for green, and B for blue. You are only given 10 seconds to key in your answers in the comment section. Each time you get it correctly, the potion will be mixed in the cauldron and rebuild your points. Be careful in choosing your answers because you might get a deduction point if you choose the wrong answers. Are you guys ready for our second test? Great, let's start. For our first question, we have angle A is congruent to the blank. Is it letter R, angle D, letter G, angle G, or letter B, angle O? Our 10 seconds starts now. If you type B, you are great. Angle A is congruent to angle O because they have the same number of arcs. You can now get your points. Fantastic! You get 2 points. That's a good start. Let's now keep going. For the second question, side TC is congruent to blank. Is it letter R, side DG, letter G, side GD, or letter B, side OG? Timer starts now. If you drop G, you're exactly right. Side TC is congruent to side GD. We can now reveal your next points. Woohoo! You get 4 points. That's great. Let's now continue the next one. For our third question, side AT is congruent to blank. Is it letter R, side OG, letter G, side DO, or letter B, side GO? 10 seconds, go. If you type R, you are tremendous. Side AT is congruent to side OG. Let us see how many points you will have for the third question. You have 3 points. Wonderful. Last one question, and you will complete this task. Let's proceed to the last question. We have triangle CAT is congruent to blank. Is it letter R, triangle DOG, letter G, triangle GDO, or letter B, triangle GOD? Key in your answer, go. If you answered letter R, you are amazing. Triangle CAT is congruent to triangle DOG. You can now reveal your last points. Yay! You got 5 points. Good job, math learners! After all the tasks you complete and gaining 25 points, you will now be sorted in a house. Let us ask Sorting Hat, on what house will you be?
So, where shall I put you? Plenty of courage, I see. You're brave at heart. Daring, nerve, and chivalry. It's all here in your head. Better be Gryffindor!
Wow! You will join Harry, Hermione, and Ron in the House of Gryffindor. It will be a great experience. Good luck! Congratulations! You did great, math learners. You are now a certified math wizard, and you were able to master the lesson about illustrating triangle congruence. To sum up today's lesson about illustrating triangle congruence, here are some of the points to remember. You may also take screenshots of it. We will now answer some questions coming from our FB Live viewers. You may type your questions in the comment section so that our teacher moderator can see your questions. Okay, here is a question from one of our random viewer. Ma'am, is a square congruent to a rhombus? That is a nice question. Square and rhombus can be congruent if all the measures of angles and sides of a square is congruent to a rhombus. Here is another question. Ma'am, how about square and rectangle? Are they congruent? Another interesting question. Square and rectangle have congruent angles, but their sides are not congruent. Therefore, they are not congruent. For other queries or clarifications, you may raise them to your math teacher. They will be more than happy to assist you during your follow-up discussion. For your home learning task, answer the question, can we name the corresponding parts of congruent triangle without a given figure? Feel free to share your answers with your math teacher during the follow-up discussion. I hope you have fun and learn a lot. Thank you again for joining today's class. This has been Ma'am Kaislyn. See you again next time for another episode of Virtual Mathematics class. Only here at Valenzuela Live, where learning together is never a hindrance even though we are apart. Stay home, stay safe, and may God bless you today and always. Bye!